thank you very much. This is a very important event in our university's history, and what we're doing tonight is the very first public and long-anticipated centennial celebration, and of course our Centennial Capital Campaign Kickoff. As I thought about this occasion, it reminded me of the legacy and the words of the father of American public education, Horace Mann. Nearly 200 years ago, he made the then very bold statement that a public education should be provided to children from a variety of backgrounds. And an even more widely known statement by Horace Mann was his challenge: be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. Well, I believe we are here tonight because we believe and have an enduring respect in that legacy set forth by Horace Mann. We're an open enrollment university, a university available to students from all walks of life and all backgrounds, and we are very proud of it. Well, tonight we're celebrating 100 years of doing just that, 100 years of providing life-changing opportunities for our students, and we have a lot of them out there in terms of alums and current students. And as I've often said about Missouri Western, we not only enhance lives, we, as our motto says, transforms lives. In recent years, I think we have a number of accomplishments that we are very proud of. One that I'm sure you're well aware of since you were just in that building was the Remington Augustine Hall complex, the math science facility, which I think is one of the finest in the region. And I think we have really the previous administration, Dr. Scanlon, and people working with him to thank for that, and of course many other things. But we're very proud of that facility, and that's a relatively recent development on our campus. In terms of other recent developments that we're particularly proud of is, of course, the 120,000 square foot Griffin Indoor Sports Complex, also known as the home of the Kansas City Chiefs, who, by the way, will be here for at least another 3 years. And probably more than that. We're also proud in terms of recent developments of our spring sports complex for our outstanding baseball and softball teams. And you may have also noticed that we've recently redone our tennis courts. Now, not to be forgotten is Griffin Hall, our newest residential living facility. And we're also very proud of the award-winning Walter Cronkite Memorial, an homage to our beloved native son, Walter Cronkite. Finally, and it's important to this building that we're in, we've had a number of renovations to this building, Potter Hall, and hopefully we'll have some more, including a new percussion room, a circle drive, additional offices, and not to be forgotten are the world-famous Stephen L. Craig designed restrooms. And so even if they're not in need, stop by and check them out. Well, with your help, on the horizon we have a number of things that we're looking forward to in terms of expansion projects. One that definitely is going to happen is what we're calling the new Spratt Stadium and everything that goes along with that. And then we have a number of what we're calling hopeful categories of expansion of this university. One would be this facility, this performance Potter Hall facility, creating another performance facility so that music and theater do not have to share and all the troubles associated with that, and having a facility that also can be an artistic display facility as well. We are looking at also additional student recreation and dining space, and in fact, a new signature building for the Stephen L. Craig School of Business. Additional facilities related to residential living, I think, are important, and also student recreational facilities and various other campus projects that certainly are possible through an effective Centennial Capital Campaign. Well, we are very, very proud of celebrating 100 years of providing opportunities to thousands of students of a variety of backgrounds. And I hope my comments have shed at least some light on why we are here today and what we aspire to accomplish in the Centennial Capital Campaign. I think Horace Mann would be very, very proud of us. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Well, thank you, Dr. Vartabedian. Aligned with the university's strategic plan and recently completed campus master plan, Missouri Western is positioned for continued success and growth as we officially kick off the Centennial Capital Campaign. That campaign will secure resources that Missouri Western needs to continue to grow and to transform the lives of our students, and we believe the world. I want to take just a few moments to recognize a few individuals who have been working very hard on behalf of the Capital Campaign. And first, I'd like to start by recognizing our honorary Centennial Capital Campaign Chair, Mr. Stephen Craig. Steve couldn't be here this evening. He sends his regards, and I can tell you that his commitment to Missouri Western has definitely been stellar. In 2008, he pledged the university's largest gift in its history, and the time he has given to both the Craig School of Business, the entrepreneurship program is just immeasurable, and so we appreciate his ongoing support. I also want to recognize members of the Centennial Capital Campaign and Centennial Steering Committees, and if you look at your program, on the back of your program, you'll see the list of all those folks who have been helping us out. So would you please join me in recognizing and thanking those individuals. And last but not least, I definitely want to recognize those individuals who have really served this campaign from the get-go. We've been blessed by having Dan and Dale Boulware and Mark and Mary Margaret Laney serve as our campaign co-chairs. You know, we just couldn't be happier. And they work hard. They came to practically every meeting you can think of over the past several months and didn't complain one bit. We're so thankful for what they mean to us. And together they have definitely provided the leadership and the passion, the commitment that has helped us to get off to a very, very good start. So we're very blessed. So thank you very much. Would you please join me now in welcoming Mr. Dan Boulware as he comes and shares some of his remarks.
Thank you, Jerry, and good evening. I would be remiss if I did not say right off that what a great job that Bob Vartabedian is doing for this university. And as we start the second 100 years, we're in great shape. We're in great shape. When Dale and I were asked to co-chair this campaign, it was an easy decision. I had chaired the Capital Campaign back in 1990. So this is my second tour of duty in that respect. But putting aside the love that I feel for this place, when you consider higher education and what it does, it literally transforms lives. I think higher education, I believe in public education. I believe in public education. But I think higher education is so important. It expands our horizons. It opens doors to opportunities. It changes lives and families. You think about the numerous stories you read at graduation time about the student from a small community that's the first to graduate from their family ever. What a great story that is. And it's the vitality for communities and regions and states. Think of what this community would be today without Missouri Western. Think of what it brings to us. Now, let me tell you, I realize I'm not preaching to the lost. This is the choir. And if you didn't believe the way that I believe, you wouldn't be here tonight in January in the evening with a lot of other stuff going on. So I commend you. It's a great crowd, and I'm glad you're here. Let me just make a few comments about the campaign. First is, obviously why we do this. Missouri lags behind other states in public funding for education. We lag behind other states significantly. The funding's not there. You just read in the last week, we lag behind in funding for highways and bridges. The funding's not there. So if we're going to keep up, we have got to do it with private funding. And that's a reality for all public institutions, regardless of where they're located. So this private funding is absolutely necessary. Another thing that I have said many times, that denial of access is a denial of opportunity. And if kids can't afford to go to a university, that's a denial of access, and that's a denial of opportunity. If a mother who is teaching in St. Joseph wants to get a master's degree, and we go back 20, 25 years, and at night she'd come home from school, she'd have to feed her family, and she'd have to drive 50 miles to the north or 50 miles to the south, that wasn't right. And that was a statement I made long ago. Getting postgraduate programs, degree programs here was essential. We have them. We've got to keep up. We've got to keep growing. We've got to provide this access. The needs are indeed great, but there's benefits too. And my conversations with a number of business owners today, what this university provides in workforce training is remarkable, and they appreciate it. So that's good too. And the financial benefits that flow from this. The last study we had was done, and we had, I think it was $186 million annually, the economic impact that this university provides. That was in 2009. We didn't have the Chiefs camp back then, or to really figure into that as we have today. I know it's been here for 5 years, but I think the economic impact is significantly greater. The annual budget for this university is about $65 million. So there's so many things that carry over. It's economic, it's educational, it adds to the quality of the value of our lives. It enhances our living standards. And I'm so glad that we have it here. We have an initial campaign goal that we're announcing tonight. I know some of you are aware of it, but the campaign goal is for $20 million. And that's a goal that we expect to achieve. I think we'll achieve it this year. I think we'll exceed it this year. And we have 5 years to go for this campaign. And I think over the 5 years, we will substantially exceed that goal, and it's going to help the university. Let me say this, that we all have a vested interest in this university because we live here. But more than that, this is a young university. It started as a 4-year institution in 1969. We're celebrating 100 years and starting 100 years, but we weren't always a 4-year institution. It started in 1969. This campus was birthed and paid for by the people in Northwest Missouri, not the state of Missouri. We have a vested interest. The people here care about this university, and they have always supported it, and they have a high regard for it. In that respect, as you have heard me say, we are all Griffins, and we will always be Griffins, and this university is worthy of our support. And those of you who have already made your pledges to this campaign, I thank you for those. They're needed. And if you have not made a pledge, I hope you'll consider that. It is an effort that we have undertaken now that is worthy of your support, and we're going to succeed in this. Now, the last thing that I need to do is to introduce my co-chair, Dr. Mark Laney. I could tell you that he's the CEO of Mosaic Healthcare, but I'm not going to do that. I could tell you that he's Mary Margaret's main man. I'm not going to do that either. I am going to tell you this. He was the point guard on Denton, Texas High School's basketball team that played for the state championship. He is an avid basketball fan, and he is my friend, Dr. Laney.
Sometimes I wonder how I get myself into these things. Actually, the phone call came probably about a year ago from Dr. Vartabedian and asked that Mary Margaret and I join the Boulwares. And he said, "Now, Mark, we're gonna treat you right. You know, we're not gonna take very much of your time. We'll organize around your time." And I said, "Okay." And this was similar. We call this a tall tale in Texas. This was similar, and Al Purcell's on the front here. This was similar, Al, to 6 years ago when you recruited me here and told me that it rarely snowed, and when it did snow, it didn't stick. No, and really, in all seriousness, when the opportunity was presented, we jumped on it, and that's because we realized how important Missouri Western is. And Mary Margaret, who is my right-hand person, my goose. I'm Maverick, by the way. Mary Margaret's going, the goose dies. Anyway, you're my dearest friend. Anyway, St. Joseph is blessed to have Missouri Western. We're blessed to have students live, work, and play right here in our community, funneling their own or their parents' money back into the economy. And that's a joke because so many of the Missouri Western students actually have part-time jobs and work throughout the community. But anyway, the athletic events, the theater productions in this facility, the musical programs, the art shows, and other Missouri Western activities just add a richness and a vibrancy for all of the residents here in St. Joseph. Now, for me, as a leader of the only health system in Northwest Missouri, having this university in our own backyard is extremely reassuring. For many years, Mosaic and Missouri Western have been partners. They have been a true partnership. And I don't know what we would do without the wonderful nursing students that we receive and help train and then hire after they finished here. We would not have the quality of great caregivers if it wasn't for Missouri Western. And by the way, there's a fairly good chance that someday, hopefully not soon, but someday you may need a little bit of health care. And when you do, it's likely that at least one of those caregivers, if not more, would be a Missouri Western graduate. The university's mission in this capital campaign, as Dan said, is really critical to all of us and all of our well-being. Missouri Western continues to produce our community's leaders, our accountants and nurses and educators and technologists and teachers and scientists and artists. Now think about that. You're going to have a comfortable retirement. You're going to have a great education for your children and your grandchildren. And you're even going to be able to come over and see a Broadway musical or see a great play. And all of that may be thanks to a Missouri Western graduate. So tonight we're here to tell you about the progress that we've made behind the scenes in kind of the quiet phase of the campaign. And it's my hope that tonight, through your support, that we will be closer to our goal with a generous donation from you. As Dan said, this is our community. Missouri Western is no doubt one of our greatest assets, and we need your help to lead the charge. Now, there's going to be some great news tonight, but I'll share just the first part with you here. To date, we've received 10 gifts and pledges in the range of $25,000 to $99,000. 9 lead gifts and pledges in the range of $100,000 to $249,000. 2 lead gifts and pledges in the range of $250,000 to $499,000, and 3 lead gifts and pledges in the range of $500,000 to $999,000, and 1 lead gift of $1 million. Isn't that great? Good job. We're off to a great start. I'm especially pleased to announce, on behalf of the Mosaic Life Care Board, a gift of $1.5 million as a leadership gift to create Missouri Western's first endowed professorship for a new program, a bachelor's program in population health that will be the first undergraduate program in the nation. This is the largest gift that Mosaic Life Care has ever made. And it is appropriate, thank you, it's appropriate that it be for the 100th year anniversary of the university, which is a very special occasion. And it is important because it honors the great work done by Missouri Western and continues to establish us as partners in leadership and innovation and investing in the well-being of our own community. Now, population health is a relatively new field. And at Mosaic Life Care, the Pound Plunge and especially the 4th grade challenge were programs created based on our knowledge of population health. They were designed to help us understand how behaviors such as smoking and obesity and lack of activity can lead to disease not just in one person, but an entire population. Students who embark on a degree in population health will complete coursework in biology, sociology, psychology, communication, epidemiology, healthcare policy and ethics, medical informatics, and entrepreneurship. Graduates will be in great demand. According to one survey, more than 60% of hospital CEOs have expressed the need to have professionals with population health experience on their staff, especially since the passage of the Affordable Care Act. Mosaic's Life Care is pleased to make this leadership gift to Missouri Western. But as Dan said, we still have a long way to go. There are still many unmet needs. Tonight you will have the chance to be part of destiny. A generous gift will impact generations and be not only a game changer for Missouri Western and its students, but for our entire community. Thank you.
Wow, I think that almost deserves a standing ovation. What a great announcement. Thank you so much on behalf of the entire university. Dr. Laney, we extend our sincere gratitude to you and everyone at Mosaic Life Care for continuing to support Missouri Western as well as support for health education. Thank you very much. Well, Dr. Laney shared some of the successes of our campaign so far, and I thought I'd share a few additional ones with you. Missouri Western's employees have shown their commitment to our vision by pledging nearly $500,000 to date, including 100% participation and support from the President's Cabinet. Thanks to a leadership commitment from our President and Dr. Laurel Vartabedian, Missouri Western also inaugurated the President's Centennial Circle to recognize donors with a lifetime giving history of $100,000 or more, and I'm excited to announce that 2 additional members of the university's administration just recently joined this elite circle. The Missouri Western State University Foundation has been behind our campaign effort since day one, and under the leadership of our chair, Jason Horn, and of our development committee chair, Pat Dillon, the foundation board of directors is participating and showing their support with 100% participation as well. And now there is another very exciting announcement I want to make. This is a very monumental gift intention from a very talented regional artist. Brent Collins, who some of you may know, is an internationally known sculptor, and he notified the foundation that he intends to gift his entire collection of his personal works of art to Missouri Western. Brent is a very humble person. He is here with us this evening. It's kind of light up or bright up here in these bright lights, but Brent, you're out there in the audience. If you would stand so we could recognize you. There he is. Brent currently has 3 of his permanent pieces of art on our campus, and if you were in Remington Hall earlier, you would have seen that he is the creator and sculptor of the evolving trefoil, the large display or sculpture that hangs from the ceiling of the atrium in Remington Hall, as well as the sculpture on the lawn of Remington Hall called Music of the Spheres. We're so happy with this gift. It brings such notoriety to our campus to have such an entire collection from such a notable artist. Brent, his works have been displayed around the world. Shanghai, China, several corporate entities have worked with him, such as H&R Block and others all around the world. He's a very humble man. We've gotten to know him very well, and he chose Missouri Western as a place that he wants his collection to be housed. So, Brent, thank you so much. And if you have time afterwards, if you go through the gallery, there are several of Brent's pieces that are on display there. Please take some time to look at those. They're wonderful pieces. Brent will be there as well, and he can answer all those questions that I couldn't even begin to answer. I tell him a lot of times he's one of the true masters. He's a genius in his own right in the work that he does. So thank you to Brent Collins. Well, now for our featured Centennial attraction. In a few moments, I believe you will have an experience of seeing this auditorium transform like never before. But before we begin, I want to get to the entertainment. Just a couple of quick notes. If you use the shuttle bus, either to come from Remington Hall or you need to go back, just understand that the shuttle buses will be going right after the program and continue until you're able to get back to your vehicle. So you won't be left behind. You won't have to walk across campus. A little chilly out there, so they'll be making several rounds. And also we have a very, very special announcement that we'd like to make at the end of the program. So after the entertainment, which I think you're going to be wowed by and amazed, please stick around. You won't want to miss this important announcement. So now, if you would, please sit back and be prepared to be amazed. Thank you.
Our promise to students is this: if students work hard, apply themselves, and rise to the occasion, they could get a high-quality, affordable education, and their life will be transformed. That has been our commitment for 100 years. And it has never wavered. Missouri Western is a major player in the vitality of this region. When students leave here, they should be better people. People who are engaged with the community. Better citizens who are better prepared for the workforce. In 1915, the university opened with 35 students who attended class in Central High School. From that beginning and throughout its history, Missouri Western has been responsive to the community and region's needs. And the university's growth has been phenomenal. Missouri Western State University plays a pivotal role in economic development and adds vibrancy to our community. Over our 100-year history, 25,000 graduates have changed their own lives and the lives of their families through a Missouri Western education. Our employees change lives, not only in classrooms and offices, but in their communities, volunteering thousands of hours to make the world a better place. The Centennial is a once-in-100-year opportunity to celebrate all that Missouri Western has done for its students, its staff, its alumni, its region, and the world. It's time to celebrate our past and our vision for the future. Missouri Western, live forever. We sing in praise of you.
If I could get Dr. Vartabedian, Laurel, and Dan, and Dale, and Mark, and Mary Margaret to join me on the stage. You know, it took several folks to be involved in a production like this, and we certainly appreciate the talents of our folks from Quixotic. We did have a couple of our own musicians playing here, some of our students as part of that, and definitely from the part of the university, our university advancement staff, our instructional media staff, certainly worked tons of hours to help with this performance and this evening's events. I want to recognize a couple of people in particular. One would be Michael Scroggs. Michael's been working, I think, I don't know, is it possible to work 72 hours in a day? He tells me that, but Michael has just been phenomenal, as well as Abby McGee, who has been helping us lead this effort. So thank them with me, please. Well, I mentioned prior to the performance that we had a very, very special announcement to make. And tonight, I want to let you know that the university has received confirmation from an alumnus that he is committed to making Missouri Western State University the beneficiary of the largest gift in the university's history to date. And before I think we need a drum roll for this, don't you think? How about a drum roll? Can we get a drum roll? Yeah, what do you know? Hey, come on out here. All right. Are you ready? We're going to start a drum roll. Let's get it going. $10 million. Now that's something to celebrate, isn't it? The donor who lives in St. Joseph wishes to remain anonymous, but I can't express just how much we appreciate his support and generosity. He certainly helps us in a lot of ways. And I think you can agree with me that the future looks very bright here at Missouri Western and for our Centennial Capital Campaign. So with our $10 million gift, our Centennial Capital Campaign raised to date is $16,800,000. You know, thank you again to our co-chairs, to Dr. Vartabedian, to Dr. Laurel Vartabedian. I tell you what, we've got some great leadership here. We're just getting started. We're off to a great start. And as you leave the auditorium this evening, I hope that you will join us in this venture to not only, as Dan said, meet the goal, but to exceed the goal. And as you leave, we do have some brochures that tell you a little bit about our campaign. I'll be honest, there's a pledge card in there, so if you want to take that along with you and get that back, that would be awesome. But we're off to a great start. We have a lot to do, and you know what? The next 5 years are really going to set the stage for the next 100 years. So thank you all again for coming this evening. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you.
Thank you.